It was not, they were not leaving. You were like, buy a crystal, put it in that room, ring some bells, bury that crystal, burn the house down. That's the protocol.
Some cavities and bed bugs and COVID and
Leaks in walls.
relationships.
Oh, relationships. I guess I'll take on that role because fact, that's who does it anyway. So
Welcome back to Living Magic. I'm going to burn some Palo Santo. Smells so good, doesn't it, Kyla?
my
Doesn't it?
favorite smell. It's just such a great smell.
So, just full disclosure, it has been how many months? 5 months since we last recorded, I think.
Hmm.
You won't know that because the episodes will continue coming out on a regular schedule. But for us, we have had a doozy of a summer and we haven't recorded at all summer. So we thought we'd just take a minute and share what's been going on, sort of on a high level, and talk about how things felt really hard and how we were trying to incorporate as much magic into the challenges as we could. And sometimes we did okay with that, and sometimes we did not so okay.
Truth.
Truth. So, do you want to start?
No.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I appreciate that.
Feel like you're on a ball. You're on a roll. Keep going.
I'm not. I was just getting us going, and then I'm throwing that ball over to you. Okay, yeah. So I think, yeah, the last time we recorded was probably like May or something, and it's now October. And I would say between you and me, this summer was exceptionally challenging. And I think that that has been true for lots and lots of people, that this summer sort of there was life challenges, situational challenges, all sorts of things coming up. And so I feel like you and I were on the phone every day talking about like what the heck is going on? Why does life feel like this? What's happening? So from my go ahead, you're gonna say, please make me stop talking.
I feel like there was there wasn't really space, even if we wanted to do a living magic show because we were not feeling magical at all. So I just kind of wanted to honor, like, we were not, I mean, I didn't even really want to try it. I was like, so, "Ugh," like, whatever, I have to just keep swimming because that's all I got. I gotta keep going forward. But I don't know that that was the right answer either. But that was like where I was in my human life was like, no, I'm so taxed by just living right now. I can't really think about how to make this magical. Um, because really I just want to go to bed.
I know. And there's part of me that's like, I don't even want to go back to revisit what went down in the summer because it feels just like it was such a
Tar.
constant slog and we're somewhat through it now that it feels like ugh, I don't want to like go back and talk about all that stuff. But I think we could talk about what we had a lot of conversations about, which was sort of like, this feels so hard. Where's the magic? What's going on that this feels so hard? And like how do we survive? I feel like we just had so many conversations about this, like, how do we survive? And I think the first thing that I feel like we were talking about a lot was when it's hard, when it feels like the universe is throwing 1,000 things at you and you sort of just want to lay down and go to sleep. From what I would kept sort of orienting myself towards was that, okay, yes, this is so hard and it's for a good reason. Like, at least because there was stuff in my life that had felt very stagnant for a very long time. And as the summer happened and there were sort of like big dramatic events happening, it was awful, but it was also like, okay, well, there's some momentum and movement now. Like, now stuff is going to be changing because it has to. And so I tried to keep being like, this is really hard and it's good. It's going to be good. When we get to the other side of it, when we get through this, it will be better.
Yes, I mean, you were focusing on just swimming. Keep
Swimming.
swimming, keep
Keep
going. It's
swimming.
for
You're Dory. Yeah. Keep
you.
swimming.
You're being Dory. I feel like that's what we did. That was kind of what we're wrapping up the summer with. There was a lot of swimming in the summer to just stay afloat.
We even got together in person and it was still just sheer chaos like the
It
whole
was
time.
the whole time complete chaos.
We had a little bit of fun, a little bit of magic, and then I got COVID and almost pooped myself in the woods. So
Oh, you were brave. You're a brave soldier. You're really determined to have a dance party in the woods. And then you were like, nope, it's COVID
um
poop.
now I'm gonna die. Thank you very much. Yep, it was a bad idea.
You just leave me here in the woods and check on me later.
And I said, you need to leave me. Leave me alone, please. I do not want you here with
I know
me.
it was my idea to bring you here and dance around a fire to some music, but no, I should just be left here alone.
Abandon me, please. I deserve to be alone in this. I'm so disgusting. No one should have to be in my space.
Oh my God, like the hardest. Oh my God. I feel like we have to talk a little bit about the bed bug
I think we
situation.
have to. Like, it's so silly. It is so silly. We have.
Oh my God. Because I don't know anybody that let's just I have to back up, like preparing for you to come.
It was the
And
day that I was coming to your house with my children.
I'm like, it's not a rash. My kids are having it's bed bugs. Do you still want to come?
You called me and said, so I think Asher has bites all over from bed bugs. Did you even say, do you want to come? It wasn't even a question. You were like, here's what we're doing. We are buying new mattresses. We're going to put all the kids into a different room where they will just sleep on cots and mattresses. Can you buy some pillows? I need some pillows. And I was like,
Or we're gonna burn the house down. Which one sounds like a good plan to you? We're gonna have a real big fire ceremony where the whole house is part of it. It's like a big
oh,
dedication. What do you want to burn up?
I know. So I bought the pillows and I said, we're coming. We are coming.
You did. You came locked and loaded with pillows and
Uh-huh. And
oh,
then and it wasn't like a couple day visit. Like I was bringing my children to your house for like 7 full days, where then the kids had to be sleeping in like a separate in the living room. They were sleeping in the living room basically, which meant that there was no privacy for anyone at all. So the bed bugs.
this fine dance. That pretty much sums up how the summer went. Like if you can think about
Yeah.
that situation and how interesting it is to do that dance while trying to create some fun for the summer while dealing with something not so fun and having zero solution. Like the solution is we're living the solution.
Yeah, the
Gotta
solution
just
is
keep swimming.
you do what you need to. You buy the pillows, you buy
You
the
buy the pillows,
mattresses.
you buy new mattresses, you rip out carpet. You just never put carpet in your house again, ever. You just, you know,
You
paint the
poop in the
wall.
woods, get close to pooping in the woods.
Get
It's
real, yeah, make that a priority to learn how to poop in the woods. And
just
just, it's what I like to call homesteading. I really feel like there's this big homesteading trend right now. And I have lived it. I'm like, oh yeah, let's make our own goat milk. No, I don't want goats. Do you know goats eat everything? But people are so into it. Let's get some chickens. Okay, and then we'll just have mountain lions and other shit that kills stuff. Like, no. But they're like, and it's so much fun.
it's so much fun.
It's so much fun. And remember how we really liked it when life was this hard. That's homesteading. Like, hey, I get it. Like, like, let's make it real hard life instead of stupid hard life. Does that make any sense? Like,
Yes.
but then I'm like, none of you have actually ever homesteaded. Okay. I don't even have livestock. I'm like, imagine if we had livestock, Steve. He's like, I'm so done with how much work this property is. Well, we don't have livestock. We just have children
It
and
also
dogs.
had to be closed the portal, your spiritual portal that was like letting souls up into the earth from your home too. Like it's not a normal, maybe perhaps homestead, possibly.
It's not a normal homestead. No.
But then you bought more homesteads and they also were a ton of work for you this summer.
And did more portal work.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about that too. You have a second, you have a property, a rental property that you own in New Mexico, and it was a mess. There was a lot going on with it. But I was there while it was going down, so we took our kids to put them to work and just like clean up stuff that needed to be cleaned. And I was in that house for 20 minutes and I was like, I'm gonna throw up. The energy in here is
Bad.
messed up. So then in addition to like painting the walls, taping everything for painting, um, we had to like energetically clean this house. And then you had to clean it like 7 more times after
It was
that.
not, they were not leaving. You were like, buy a crystal, put it in that room, ring some bells, bury that crystal, burn the house down. That's the protocol. That's the protocol to save your soul.
Put it on the market and move
Put it
on,
on the
please.
market, you're done. No, I had to have that whole conversation. Well, what it came down to was it's like this house does not trust males. It does not
Mm-mm.
want males in this house. It was actually kind of fine with me. I would walk in and be like, it'd be like, oh yeah, hey. Steve would walk in and it would be like, we blew a pipe in the basement, it's flooding. So trying to figure that out. Oh, also, you can't turn it off because that's gonna break when you try. No, you got a flood.
Get out of here, man.
Get out of here.
Also, the energy was not, some energy is like quick and it will move. And if you're like, go, it'll go. It's like, yeah, I want to go somewhere else. That one was like, whoa, like it was just anchored in there
Oh, I know.
so heavily. So
But
that,
I did burn all of like the Palo Santo, we saged, I had conversation. I had to have a straight up conversation like, look, not all men are what you have experienced.
yeah,
Not all are going to treat you bad. I mean, this house has energy. It's like I will hold the energy and I will barf it up on you. But after we had that conversation about, I promise there's better people that are going to come and take care of you. And that is what we are trying to do here. So I need a little, I need you to get on board with being taken care of
yeah,
by males and females. Both can
yeah,
do this job.
people.
People, yeah, there's not all bad people. So once she understood that, even Steve, I didn't tell him, of course, that I had the conversation and burned it and lit a candle and sprayed some cinnamon and rosemary and all the things, right? All the things. Sang la la la, and I didn't sing, but I
You
did ring a
rang that
bell.
big bell though. You
I
rang that big
rang
bell.
that bell in all the rooms, and I did. I got that crystal and I buried it in the backyard. Buried. Anyway, and after I told Steve what I did, he was like, "Oh my God, that's so weird. It did feel completely different when I walked in that house today." I was like, and then I named her Dolly. And can you imagine if you were a mistreated house named Dolly, how you would feel about that? No. She
No,
was like, absolutely not. And now people just love her. I'm getting the best reviews. They're just like,
yeah, she's happy.
yeah, she's so happy.
That's so magic. We actually were living lots of magic
I
in
mean, we
that,
were living it, but we were,
but it was hard. I think that's
yeah.
and I think that's part of why we wanted to recap this because it's like, yes, we were still like trying to work with the energy that was present to us, which felt like, the universe like throwing obstacles in front of us every week. Um, and sort of like big explosions. That's sort of what the summer, when I think back on the summer, like the energy of it was like, like let's just blow everything up. Um, but it's not like a smooth, fun, light energy. It was heavy and dense and hard and emotional. And I guess we're not like giving ourselves enough credit for like we were still trying to do it. We complained a lot about
A
it.
lot, a lot. We just did a lot of complaining, which is not healthy either, but also necessary for survival. just was necessary.
I mean, you have to sort of like laugh. That's where we got to, I think, where it was just like we had to laugh about it because it was like, oh, of course you have bed bugs the day that we're arriving. Of course you do. Like, of course I got COVID and now I like need to poop in the woods. Like, it is, of course, that's what's going to happen.
I know.
So if you don't complain a little bit and laugh a lot about it,
I mean, we had to laugh. That is a good point, though. Like, it does get to a point where, like, I'm handling it, I'm handling it, I'm not handling it. I'm really not liking handling it, but I am failing. I am utterly failing. I'm in a ball. I'm going to cry about it. I need
uh,
to cry about it. And then when you're down here crying about it, something else happens. Something else happens. And then you're like, and now I'm going to laugh about this
yeah.
because
And
I
what
will either
else?
continue to cry or I have to laugh because this is actually starting to be funny. And I feel like, you know, we've talked about this too, about the expediting of the universe being like, oh, is that the change you want to create? Well, you are going to only do things in your life if it is an urgent thing. That's what we have learned from you. Here's an urgent thing. Here's an urgent thing. Here's an urgent. Oh, you want to talk about this? You got to fix this. You want to talk about that. And it's like overwhelming, but also a lot of that stuff we wouldn't have really addressed unless it was urgent. Like, and we're talking
100%.
now, so it's like, okay, well, here's, trying to create this big change in your life. And here's all the things that you have to do in this time frame that you've allotted yourself. And you don't know how to make a timeline. So we're going to make it for you.
Get to it. Here you go.
Here you go.
Rip out that carpet. Yeah, no, I think that that is true. I mean, it's the same for my circumstance too, where yours was much more like tangible, real world in the real world stuff breaking, and mine felt more like internal family breaking sort of things. But when I look back, I'm like, it all needed to happen. And even when
Mhm.
I was in it, it had felt like I had been stuck in a situation for like years at that point, like stuck where things just weren't progressing and things weren't moving. And I was asking for help and what's the next step. And it turns out the next step is things exploding so that then you can rebuild. And that is, I think a lot of times when you are like in the magic or like trying to be in the magic, you're like, it's all going to be love and light. And like, no, it's just not. Like things have to break in order to be rebuilt. And I think that's probably a good reminder for right now as we move. Again, who knows when this will be released, but we're right now heading into like the election in the US, and everyone is talking about the chaos that could happen from that. And it's like, right. So sure, chaos can happen, but does it move us forward? Does it change things for the better? Does it help us rebuild something new and perhaps better? Hopefully so. Better than staying
Right.
stuck, I guess.
It's different. It is different than staying stuck. Ew, but who wants to just be stuck too?
Hmm.
Well, before we started, like back when didn't take this long break,
Hmm.
I was doing that thing that I'm like not feeling 100% committed to doing, but I do think would be good to do, which is no complaining. No complaining. So I read that book. Actually, I didn't read it. I listened to it on Audible, but um, A Complaint-Free World that was turned on by a friend of mine.
Confession. I didn't actually read it. Yes.
It's easier to listen. You can like double time it, especially when you're in the car, as much as I'm in the car. So it really resonated with me because it's directly related to having gratitude and the choice that we can make to choose to complain about something and um, or like switch it and choose to not complain.
Hmm.
You might have internal chatter about complaining, which is normal, but you're not voicing your complaints, which is actually manifesting more of what you don't want instead of more of what you do want. And it talked about how satisfying it is to complain.
Did you get validation and attention?
Oh, yeah, you can be funny about it. Like I call you, and I'm just like, these are not complaints, these are facts. And so we switched it to listing the facts. And there, there is a difference, but often I've made a joke about the complaint fact thing, which still makes them complain. But anyway, to get out of the habit of complaining, you have a bracelet and you switch it from one wrist to another every time you complain, and then you start at day one. And the goal is to get to day 28 or 30 or whatever. I think it's 28 days of complaint free, which can take people anywhere from 6 months to eternity. But it just makes you very aware of how often you're complaining. And the average person complains something ridiculous like 15 to 30 times a day. I'm on the higher end of that for sure, because I use it as humor and make it relatable. And even when I was off of it for a while, off the complaint train, which I never got past day two. I got to day two after like 3 months of doing it,
You were trying for a while too, yeah.
and I never got past day two. And I realized like how hard it was. I mean, it's easy to, it's not even easy to give anything up really, but if you're giving up food or dairy or coffee or whatever, it's like one thing that you have to like not think about for the morning if it's coffee or whatever your habit is around it.
Yeah.
But complaining happens all day long for the majority of the planet. But when you shift that frequency from complaining to not complaining, then it opens up all this space to like really appreciate life and then to live when you're not focusing on, I gotta tell you these facts. I gotta tell you this story. I'm gonna tell you this story. It's like, well, then my sister was like, God, you're so boring to talk to now. I'm like, I'm trying not to complain. So like silence, but
But sometimes silence is better than
right, then complaining. And so,
negativity. Yeah.
right. And so you kind of get all of these people when you're in this process that are like, oh, like, I need your feedback. I need you to feed my soul with these complaints. Like, I need you to validate that what I'm saying is correct. Um, so it was just an interesting practice, and I was not very good at it. But I do, and then I had that summer that I was like, look, it's not the time. It's not the time to be complaint free.
Not a complaint free summer. No, we were
Sorry.
not in that.
I would really like it to be, but it's just not. So I thought I should try again. I thought we should try again. You're gonna try too
I'm
this
down for
time.
it. I am down for it, although I don't want to wear a bracelet because I don't like wearing bracelets. So we were talking about a ring or something like that. Yeah.
I like a ring. I prefer rings, so I could
Yeah.
get down with the ring.
So yeah, I think that it is a good thing to try. Are we going to call each other and be like, hi?
Hi, just wanted to check on you today. Well, okay, so the thing is when you're not complaining, it does leave space to start talking about things that are
Deeper.
usually happen in deeper conversations. Like, what are your dreams? What are you trying to manifest? Like, what are you working on that you love? Like, if you have to eliminate all of the complaining, all the fun stuff, then you just get to talk about the fun stuff.
Mhm.
That's where I get a little caught up, if I'm honest, like because it is funny. You think about all the comedians, all of their work is like, who is a complaint-free comedian?
I just watched last night. I just watched Tig Notaro. Do like her, and her comedy special was on Amazon Prime, and she had this whole bit. She called it the type of person who talks, where you just are like, "Hello, good morning. I see that you're having this for breakfast. I hope you enjoy your day."
I think that's what I was becoming a little bit. So I'm like, how do I get to maintain who I am on some level with
Without complaints.
without complaining?
I feel
Yeah.
like that's possible. I feel like you can list the facts, like this is happening, because that's true. Like that's not necessarily it's not like
No, it's a
if
fact.
you
Like
aren't like, woe is me, if you're just like, my house is possessed by really bad energy and it hates every man that walks in there and it causes a lot of damage. Facts.
fact. Um, we have bed bugs. I don't know, maybe since November, I've thought it wasn't bed bugs. I was misdiagnosed them. Fact. Yes.
Facts. Yeah, so it's like I think we can you can still talk, you can share those facts and then you can laugh about, you can still joke about things without having it be like, oh, my life is so hard.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
be like, those bed bugs really love the grime from your children. They love it.
Oh,
They
they
love it.
love it. They love it. And I'm not blaming you. I'm just going to state a fact. Um, you were the parent that was like, why are you taking time to make your kid get dressed in the morning? Like, have them go to sleep in their clothes the night before, and then you don't have to do all this extra. It's like,
That's true.
you're right. Why have you been resisting this? Well, I allowed that to happen, but I didn't also enforce that they had to change clothes at the end of the day. Mine just didn't care, like this is when I'm like, no, I really needed to just stay with the program of you must change your clothes for bed. And then you must put clean clothes on the next morning. But they were like, so we could just always wear these. And I'm like, no, but yes, because I have no fight left fact. I have no fight left in me. So you wear whatever you want. And they would lie to me. I would be like, are those new sweatpants?
100% new.
Hmm.
So yes, I
Yep.
don't think this really can be blamed on me because it just sounds like your children stopped changing their clothes.
Yeah. So the fact would be that you can pick up bed bugs from like school or like hotel. How I'm like, where did these come from? Or like when you're kids,
Or your
go
dogs.
3 days with your
Again, I
dogs.
continue to go to your
But
dogs.
seriously, like I just was anyway, now it's like we're definitely on the regular of changing clothes, on a weekly bed washing program, like all
See,
the sheets, all the like I think I might have been on every other week or longer sometimes. I don't know, don't judge me, but I was like, got it. We gotta stay on top of being clean as a family. Like I guess I'll take on that role because fact, that's who does it anyway. So and now I want to. I want to do it. I'm like, give me that job. I actually want. I have wanted before, even when I knew about these bed bugs, for everybody's sheets to be clean. And now I know why. So it was kind of like that universal thing that's coming in that's like, hey,
you want this change? You want clean sheets?
you
Here you go. Here's bed bugs. I will help move this along.
it's feel like go too long. So wrap that up.
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah, all true, all facts. Also, I did just wash all of our sheets the other day, but it took me like all day long. And I was like, first of all, if you have 8 children, what do you do? How do you do
I don't know what
this?
you do if you have 8 children. And also, the other thing is when you haul water because your well doesn't fill up. I mean, hey,
Homesteading. You're
homesteading,
homesteading.
homesteading, and you're trying to use minimal amounts of water, you might not wash your sheets every week, but not anymore. Now I just am like, we're hauling as much water as I need, and I need to do 900 loads of laundry a week. So, fact,
Fact. Homesteading. Fact.
homesteading fact. I could do it by hand, which will take more water, or I could put them in the machine, which will still take water.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. So we're
Okay.
gonna stop complaining at the end of this recording.
But really, we've just been listening facts, and we're doing it in a funny way.
I know. I think that this is where I struggle with this because I don't know the distinction between a complaint and a joke. And that's what we have to figure out over
We
this
really need
course
to
of
look at
time.
that. We need to look at it. However, even if we have to keep switching our ring back and forth, and we
We're
never get
trying.
beyond day 2, but we're recognizing. And sometimes I would just be like, you know what? It is worth the switch of the finger, you know?
You would be like, I gotta tell you something, and I'm gonna change my bracelet over as soon as I tell it to you.
You know? But you probably like if you're past day 2, you're like, no, I made it to day 3. I am not speaking to you. I'm not calling
Yes.
you. We cannot talk for 9 months. I think I need 9 more months to get clean, and then we'll talk.
Oh, that's
So
sad. I'll see you in a long, long time. I think that's what's going to happen. We're not going to talk for a long, long time. Okay. I think it's a good idea. I'm on board. I'm willing to try. And I also know it is going to be a challenge just based on the people that live in my house right now. Fact.
set of facts. It's a good challenge to have,
It
you
is a good
know?
challenge to have. Yes. And I do, we both have preteen teens in our home, and it's a good example to set for them as well, because I do find that it's very easy for them to fall into complaints. And I'm like, you would be happier if you just weren't focused on this stuff, you know?
Yeah, and I'm gonna warn you, like my none of my family participated in the complaint-free thing, but they were very good at pointing out, like, sounds like you're complaining, Mom. I think you need to switch your bracelet.
I'm not going to tell anyone in my family that I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it silently.
Uh, Silent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a practice of silence. And again, you don't have to switch if you're going crazy in your head with complaints. Like that's your own mind stuff to work out. It's like verbalizing it is,
Yeah. Okay.
when you have to switch.
And again, I think it ties into the fact when things get hard, which they're still sort of still hard in the world right now, like it's important then to keep your frequency and your mind in a higher place. And that's a good thing for us to be putting out into the world. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
I do think also, I want to just point out, and I don't think it's tied to complaints, but like just how important over this chaos of a summer was like laughing, and like how much magic that really also just brings into a moment of like being able to call you and have a conversation with you and laugh about the insanity that was happening was such a life preserver in all of it. It was like,
That's
right,
true.
we can just, it's okay. It's gonna be fine. We're laughing about it. We'll be laughing about it again in the future. Because in the moment, it's hard to sometimes find that humor.
I agree. Uh-huh. Can't always hitch your wagon to a rainbow. Oh, come on, we love to do
I
it.
want to all the time.
I want that for me.
No, so cavities and bed bugs and COVID and
Leaks in walls.
relationships.
Oh, relationships.
They're great.
They're great sometimes.
They're great. I mean, to me, I'm like, they're great for personal growth, for sure. They are great as a way to have a mirror shined up at you, see what really matters. All right. Well, so do we want to share just something that we're feeling grateful for right now as a good way to sort of wrap this up? And
Yeah, I do. Look at us podcasting
I know I'm so happy that we're back.
because it's fun to look at you and talk to you.
I know. It's funny that this is the only time that we actually get on video to talk to each other. But yeah, so happy for that.
I know I did FaceTime you from my car the other day, but it's not the same as this.
No.
The lighting's a lot better here.
Zoom does a nice little filtering effect. Right? It
Yeah.
looked way worse in that one. Yeah, no, I think I'm super grateful for that. And I'm super excited about because we haven't even released it yet. So I am really excited about whatever is going to happen. And I'm also really thankful that I got pulled over and didn't get a ticket today. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, you do need to be grateful for that. You worked
Mhm.
your magic.
I just was like, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're right. I
Thank
really
you
thank you.
for bringing that to my attention.
I did not even realize. Yes. Also, the other thing that I'm really grateful for is just that it, as hard as it was the past few months, I feel like my life is really in a much better place right now than it was at the beginning of the summer for like various reasons, and mostly because of sort of the chaos that happened this summer. So that's good.
I might not 110 to be there yet,
I
but
understand.
I believe that everything that is happening is for the bigger picture,
Yeah.
broader, more expansive, more balanced
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
just working it up to that.
Yeah. Yours is a little longer process.
There's more people involved
Hmm. And things.
and things, houses.
All those bed bugs, you know.
Oh, they're gone, I think. God, I hope. Want to get
Just
all my
also to
home.
be clear, these were not in her rental. These were just in her home that she's
Just
living
in
in.
my personal home.
She would
I
not
mean,
tolerate such things in her rental
uh,
properties.
no. God. But, I'm not gonna lie. They travel. So at your own risk, let's be
Those sheets
honest.
get washed a lot more frequently
All
anyway,
the time.
all the
Yeah, with
time.
lots of stuff.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, I think that's it. Do you have anything else?
hitch your wagon to a rainbow. Hitch your wagon.
Hitch that raggin. Hitch it to a rainbow.
Hitch it to a rainbow. It's a
Hitch,
good time.
hitch that raggin to a rainbow. Yeah, we're happy to be back. We are happy to be living life. Happy to be alive.
Yeah, so hang in there.
Hang in there. That's right. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. Good night.
Did you say good night?
Yeah, did you stop recording?